so much of the last years. It's getting ridiculous. Joey, you got it, man. I know Chris got it.
I got it.
Good evening, wonderful fans out there. Welcome to the CJ Squared episode 46. 4 more away from the magical number of 50. All right. And of course, what we have going on right now, NBA basketball heating up, playoff time around the corner. Final Four is around the corner. Was the Oscars or whatever happened? We got people getting slapped on live TV. So we're gonna talk about that tonight too. So don't worry, we're gonna touch on that. Hey, also at my school, we got chickens being born right now. Eggs is cracking open. Right, not cooking them, but we got them out there. But yeah, like I was saying, welcome to CJ Squared. Got Joey here. I got Chris here.
Wow.
You know I'm JB. And you know that we are going to give you some hot information tonight. I mean, some of the stuff you might say, man, I already know that. But who cares?
So they say.
So they say, right? You think you know it until you don't know it.
Yeah, really.
What's your saying, Joey? What's the saying that what's that one saying? I believe it when I see it when I believe it.
I'll see it when I believe it.
I see it when I believe it.
I'll see it when I believe it.
I'll see it when
I believe it. Yeah, that's what we're doing, it, right? We're seeing it before we believe it. So
right.
Listen. Topics, man. Look, NCAA is hot right now. Gonzaga being upset. I mean, all these number one seeds being upset, and yet, like we just finished talking about, we have all these powerhouse schools still make it to the finals. We got Kansas, Villanova,
Blue Blood.
Villanova is probably over the last 6 or 7 years has been the best program in America. Basically, let's call it what it is, right?
Absolutely. They're the leading Blue Blood.
Yeah, and you got the Tobacco Road matchup, the dream matchup, a matchup that has never happened in the storied history of these two programs. Can you believe this is the first time that the Tar Heels and the Blue Devils are actually meeting in the NCAA tournament and on pretty much the biggest stage? Oh my goodness! This is going to be bananas. All right. Anyway, before we talk about those things, let's talk about how we did on our.
Oh, don't do it.
First,
we have to.
Let's say this. We did a couple of pools on ESPN. We did one to start, and we did one second chance pool. Guess what we did on both of them? It's called Shut the Bed. That's what we did. We did nothing good. Everybody we picked has pretty much been eliminated or isn't who we picked to be the champion. Man, this is the exact opposite from last year. The last year I was like in fuego. This year I'm ice cold.
Fuego.
Ice cold this year. So I mean, yeah, we just did horrible. I do have some. I got a little, thing to share with y'all to talk about real quick. I know y'all like my presentations. I work hard on these things, right? So
what does this guy do?
You said what?
What does this guy do?
What is? And that's what Paladin said. What does this guy do? Oh my God, Paladin, if you're watching, I guarantee I do more at my job than you do in your classroom teaching all day. I promise you. I answer more emails, talk to more parents, talk to more kids, talk to more teachers, talk to more administrators than you would ever believe, son. But anyway.
And make slideshows.
And make slideshows. And make bets.
And coach.
Field trips. And I coach. And I go on field trips. And I do these things. Schedule science fairs, man. I do a lot. Anyway.
And you don't punt 3-pointers.
Nope. I don't punt nothing. I never punt.
You
I
don't
go
put
for it.
anything.
I go for it all. If I lose, I lose, right? Like last year, what did I lose to Chris 7-6?
Oh,
And I had Torrey Craig give me 15 rebounds on one night.
that's a classic Torrey Craig game right
Torrey
there.
Torrey Craig gave me like 15 rebounds, and one guy you would never believe gave me double digit rebounds. Brett Forbes. Brett Forbes had a game where he had like 12 rebounds.
Remember I killed Compazzo. I was killing
Compazzo, yes.
Yeah, Compazzo was putting in work.
yeah.
Hey,
now.
that's how it is sometimes, bro. All right, this is our stuff from last week, right? Before we took all these big L's. Oh, this is our champion we picked for ESPN. Wrong again.
Freaking Arizona.
All right, but this is how we did. You know, we're doing the spread every week. This is how we did last week. I was 10 for 12, pretty good overall for the whole tournament, 55%. Joey, not bad, 75%. Really bounced back from last year. Last year, I think Joey was like maybe 12% or 15%, and he against the spread. Joey has really shown himself to he's doing better, man. Like football, he killed it, he called it. He did a Babe Ruth.
Yeah, just called
he
it.
pointed to the stands, right? He called
shot.
his shot and he hit. And Chris, Mr. Analytics himself, right there, 50. He's hovering. His goal is to get above 50%. He got 3 games to make it. I believe he'll get there. But I know he's going to have some trepidation picking that UNC Duke game. He's not going to know which way to go. He don't want to pick against his team, but he don't want to pick for the other team that he don't like. So that's going to be a tough one. And so right now, the favorite to cut down the nets, just really real quick, Chris, who do you like to cut the nets down? If you want to say your team. Don't just call it.
Well, I remember at the beginning of the year, I think we said it, and I had actually picked Kansas that day. Okay. So I think we had picked kind of early on. When college basketball started, I think we threw that out. So I'll stick with them since I got to them at the beginning. I'll just throw Kansas out. I mean, actually, I really wouldn't be surprised with the way all 4 are playing. I really wouldn't be surprised if any of them. Usually that's rare that usually you get one team that sneaks in, like a Miami, where you're like, oh, I can't see this team winning. But I would say if any 4, I think all the lines are going to be tight. If whoever comes out, it's all going to be within, 3 or 4 or 5 points, something like that. So yeah, but I'll take Kansas just because I already took them. So
okay,
I'll ride it out.
Duke,
I will have to go the Blue Devils.
Okay, I mean that's your heart, so I don't blame you. I would jump on Nova, but I'm concerned about them losing Justin Moore, right? The Achilles. Yeah. So I guess in Kansas and Nova both are coming in with 9 straight wins. They're hot, blazing hot. The other 2 coming in with 4 straight wins in the tournament. They lost in the ACC. So I'm gonna be the odd man out on this one, and I'm gonna go UNC. I think Hubert Davis is got something special going right now. Those guys, you see the tournament, them guys are playing. They're like them guards are playing really well, and they got a nice little big. Yeah. And what I always say, Joey, that guard play, man, Absolutely. In the tournament, that's one of the big keys in the tournament. Now, in our CJ Squared Pick'em, as you can see, we got 4 teams left with Nova that have a real good chance to win. 1 team with Duke. These are guys who picked champions. 3 with Kansas. Top 2 have a real chance to win. Nobody picked UNC. So if UNC wins the tournament, it's going to come down to points, which would be crazy. A lot of scenarios. But see, we're done. We are not involved in any of them. It's crazy because last year I was involved in all of them, right? Right. If Baylor wins, I win. If Baylor loses, I win. I still would have won. I still would have won last year. I would have won something. And this year, nothing. Last year, Joey, didn't you feel like Dan was dead last year?
I was dead last.
Yeah, dead last. Joey's
Are you sitting at dead last this year?
I'm not dead last this year.
Okay, so we made a jump. All right, so and all right, one of the main things that came about from this going on is I think we all had. I think my pick'em thing. I think 80% of the people had Gonzaga winning the championship, at least 80%. So everybody was like gone. So were you surprised that Arkansas was able to beat them? I'll start with you, Chris.
Well, coming in, I actually had picked Gonzaga, I think in yours or another bracket, just based on just what I thought talent alone, and this would probably be their year. And watching them play the first round game, struggle with Memphis, I just thought that I actually wasn't surprised at all. I thought I as soon as I saw them against Memphis, I'm like, this team they're not going to win at all. I just felt like defensively they weren't great, and they just didn't. Their two bigs were good, old Timmy. And
Timmy boy, yeah.
And I mean, he's as good as he is though on the offensive side. He's as equally bad on the defensive side.
Liability. Last year, Baylor kept putting him in that little NBA pick and roll.
Yeah,
right?
I mean so he can dominate and then get dominated. And I think with Holmgren, I mean, he ended up only playing 15 minutes or something, got into foul trouble, and because I mean he's a shot blocker. I mean, we saw him, but those guys can get it. And so if you get him off the floor, which they did, and Arkansas plays a suffocating defense anyway, and they've got guys who can score. That one guard can really score. So just watching them, I don't think that they had like that guy like Suggs last year,
right? That
could just take over games when they need to. And they're too dependent on Timmy and Holmgren. So I just really wasn't surprised. I think they try to face teams early on, and their conference is getting better. I mean, they got 3 in this year. So it's not like they just have a cakewalk through the whole season. But
large teams, yeah.
I don't think had they have played in the Big 12, I think that even though they play a little bit of a tougher schedule, I think if you play in the Big 12 where it's a fight almost all the time, or you play in the Big 10, SEC. Even if, SEC, AC, even the average teams in the ACC, you're not going to blow them out. They can beat you on any given night. So I think there's something that they're not doing correct, because they keep being the number 1 seed. And this has happened since, remember, Adam Morrison was there.
Yeah, they keep being the number 1 overall seed.
Yeah, because they look so dominant, and then they just can't close. And so, I mean, I think they'll get there eventually if they keep getting this NBA level talent. They're bound to get there at some point. But, just by watching them play, I just feel like it didn't blow me away, because I've always said if a team, the best teams are the ones where if you take away what they want to do, they can somehow still beat you in other ways. And to me, if you took away what Gonzaga wanted to do with Timmy and Holmgren, could they beat you in another way? And I just don't think they could. And that's the difference. So
they had no shooting. I mean, they had shooters, but I guess they weren't really hitting, right?
Yeah. So that's the thing. If that doesn't step up, and if you can't go plan B, like everyone, as Mike Tyson say, everyone's got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. It's like, that's the thing is these great teams who are great until they get smacked in the mouth. So yeah, I was just not surprised, but I think they'll get one eventually. You keep getting this NBA talent, you got to get one.
John, what's your take on it?
Well, the Arkansas defense definitely suffocated the Gonzaga offense. They sunned them on defense. Tell you that. They absolutely sunned them.
They sunned them. They
shot 38% from the field. They only hit five threes. Holmgren was in foul trouble for the entire game. The fifth foul was definitely questionable. It looked like he went straight up. It didn't look like he extended. But hey, that's the way it goes. He was in. He got. Did he score in the first half?
I don't know. I don't even know how much he even ended up.
I don't think he scored in the first half. I think he ended up the game. He only had 11 points.
To me, though, why even go for that shot? Just put, as big as that dude is, don't even try to, just go. Don't. He knows that they need him on the floor.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's not worth it to block a shot right
Correct.
there. That's just him being young and not recognizing the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, when he went down, step up. They didn't have anybody that could step up to take over when arguably they're maybe not their most talented scorer, not their best scorer. They had no one. They had no other answer to step up when he was out. And like I said, the Arkansas defense just suffocated and played them very well. I don't think it's surprising either. Arkansas, Musselman is an outstanding coach. He's going to get Arkansas to a Final Four eventually.
He was the NBA. Yeah, I think Arkansas signed like 3 5-star recruits this year.
Yes, they did. He's got that program going in the right direction. Mm-hmm. Not even surprised at all that Gonzaga bowed out.
I think one of the guys is funny because one of the guys that's a 5-star recruit, his choice was Gonzaga or Arkansas.
Oh, really?
And he chose Arkansas. Maybe it's based on the game. Who knows?
Maybe.
For me, I wasn't surprised too, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was out and about all weekend, so I didn't watch any games this weekend. I watched some highlights, right? And but I wasn't surprised because when Arkansas played another team from the SEC early this year, Alabama gave them their first loss. Well, their first or second loss.
That was a Saban game. I think Saban coached that game.
Yeah.
The special guest coach.
You said Saban coached the basketball team? Man, shut up. You were this daggone Nick Saban crap. And look, how did Nick Saban get into our basketball conversation?
You bring up Alabama, he comes up. Doesn't matter.
Let's go.
All right. So basically, like I said, I wasn't surprised, but it's I feel bad for Few. I mean, he's like you said, Chris, he's had these teams with these guys who can play, and he's had this top seed overall in the tournament, and they've blown it. They just, they've been to the championship twice already and lost. I don't know.
You think about it. What else can they really do? Because it's not like the Big 12 is going to take them because they don't do any. Yeah. They don't play football, right? So
what they got to do is they got to make sure that they do what they used to do, and that's keep kids in the program and not let them. You get these nowadays. You get these one and dones. It ain't guaranteeing you're gonna make it to a tournament. Like look at Kansas. Look at Kansas and Villanova. That team is built on a whole bunch of guys that's been in school for a while.
Yeah.
And Kansas does have that transfer from Arizona State.
Transfer. Yeah.
That was supposed to be the player of the year. Has some difficulties, but it has come back strong. Mm-hmm. But like the last couple of years, they've had guys that have come and gone. 1 year. And they go to the NBA. How many guys from Gonzaga right now in the NBA who left early are putting in work? Can y'all name one? Just putting in work.
Who's the dude from?
You can't name one.
I'll say nobody.
You can't name one.
Nobody.
Zach Collins from Gonzaga came out early.
Was Tobias Harris?
Now, Tobias Harris played at Tennessee.
I thought he was at Gonzaga.
No, he played at Tennessee. He played at Tennessee, Chris.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, and the only guy I can think of right now that's in the league from the recent Gonzaga teams, actually, nobody is just actually doing anything.
No,
I can't think of a guy that's from Gonzaga that's actually doing something. Like I know Zach Collins was a good player in Portland, but he got hurt. He ain't done anything since. And Suggs, this whole year he's been hurt. Who else in a recent memory from Gonzaga that's been an NBA pro that's actually doing something?
Brandon Clark is who I was thinking of.
Brandon Clark.
Brandon Clark is, but he's a decent role player. He ain't out. You know what I'm saying?
Hachimura's a guy.
And where is he? And what has he been? A decent role player.
Sabonis.
Okay. Now, there's one, but guess what? He hurt.
Yeah, he is.
Right.
But still, to be as an elite of a program as you are, probably a top 5 program over the last 5, 6, 8 years, and your best guy is Sabonis, and then everyone else is basically kind of a Brandon Clark type of guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, how many people would be
surprised? And all of them have
been
like lottery picks. They all been lottery picks too.
Yes, they have been.
How many would be surprised if Holmgren fizzles out? You know what I mean? I think he's going to be a massive boom or bust guy, right?
Yes.
Holmgren is going to go to NBA. He's going to go and play. He's going to be a 3. Hey, he might be a 2. Because of the handles and stuff.
He can definitely handle the ball.
He get a shot. I mean, he definitely. We always talk about unicorns. He will definitely be a unicorn. He could be a definite unicorn in going to the pros.
Ronnie Turioff.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an old Gonzaga. I never forget a story when Gonzaga one year, the year that Syracuse went to the final, the last time they went to the Final Four when they had the Duke transfer, playing at point guard for them. And I remember they were going to play Gonzaga. They were playing Gonzaga in the tourney. And Gonzaga was talking all that crap about how the zone was going to stop them, and Syracuse beat a hole in them.
They sunned them.
Yeah,
they got sun. Right? They got sun. Right? They got sun. They came in thinking, zone. We're gonna just go out there and just do whatever. Sunned. All right. Like you said, they don't play these teams on a regular basis. Right. St. Mary's is good, playing well. BYU decent most years, and San Francisco was decent this year, but like you said, they don't every night. They're not playing people they know that could beat them at any given moment. They got to bring it every night. All right. So
at least at least he's at the party, but he's the only one that has not danced with.
Yeah, he's looking.
Girl. He's there. Pretty girl has danced with every.
He's a wallflower.
Joey, look, he like this.
He's over getting some punch at the table, just waiting.
And as his girl is dancing with somebody else.
His times.
That's right. That's right.
With everybody else. Right.
That's what's happening.
If you want to get some context on the dimes, you gotta go back and watch some of the old film.
Absolutely.
Watch some of the old episodes.
That's right.
About them dimes. You bring it with you. All right. But
Musselman came in and just snatched it.
Right.
I
was really looking forward to that Duke Gonzaga rematch, but Arkansas was like, Muslim was like, nah.
Not today.
He gave him
not today.
He gave him the sun, like, yeah. All right. But anyway,
escort him out the party.
Yes, and that's what happens when you are in the tournament, when you lose, guess what? You become old news, right? Let's talk about the real news, and that is the matchups. So, like we said, we got our first matchup. We have two teams coming in red hot. Mm-hmm. Both teams are on 9-game win streaks. You got Villanova, who, kind of got a little chink in the armor because they lost one of their players to, ACL. They still got the Big East Player of the Year, Gillespie at point guard. And you got the Jayhawks coming in with the Big 12 Player of the Year. And he may not even be the best player on that team. Could be Remy Martin. Could be, that sounds crazy, like a drink, right? Remy Martin.
It sure does.
But that's the guy's name, right? the transfer from Arizona State, right? He could be their best player, but the guy on their team, the senior, he is the Big 12 Player of the Year, top 5 finalists for the John Wooden Award. So this is a big time matchup, right? Bill Self and Kansas, hungry, haven't sniffed a championship since what, 08?
It's been a minute.
And you got Jay Wright, who over the last couple of years has hung 2 up in the rafters, right? Right. Remember that big game against, I was thinking about the other day, the game against UNC, that big shot that guy hit against UNC.
2 shots.
And then that other year, I think the championship, they just dominated that one team to win. Who did they beat when they won the next one?
Michigan.
Oh, that's right, because they played that Michigan team that was surprising. So, oh yeah, I remember that, the Michigan team. So, hey, big matchup, man. I mean, this matchup can't get you can get bigger than this, because that next matchup is bigger than this. But in terms of winning streak and just what's on the line, this is a gigantic matchup. So what's your take on this matchup, Joey?
Chris and JB, this first blue blood matchup, or is it the first one or the yes?
That's the first one.
Blue blood matchup is all about pace of play. Of course, as we said earlier, Villanova lost one of their best players. A piece that he knows how to score the ball well. The pace, Villanova wants to slow this game down. Villanova is going to play tough defense. And if you foul them, I believe this is the greatest free throw shooting team in the history of the NCAA.
Yeah, I did hear that, yes.
So you cannot foul them. Now, it's, as JB said, guard play. We got some outstanding guards in this game. Gillespie is not a flashy guy. He's a guy, he's not gonna come down, cross you up. He's just gonna do the basics, the fundamentals. He's gonna use his screens. He can get to the cup. He can post you up. He can hit a contested 3. He can hit a wide open 3. So guard play. Whoever has the better guard play is going to win this game. Villanova is down 1. So I think after that injury, it came to be that his Achilles was torn, I would think that most of the experts are probably going to lean towards the Jayhawks way. I'm thinking that they may just have a little bit too much firepower, and I'm not too sure if Villanova can respond having a major injury.
I mean, Kansas definitely is battle tested, right?
Yes, they are.
All right, battle tested, right? Chris, what's your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think playing in the Big 12, which we've seen ends up being the best conference, that's huge. And you're playing against a team who wants to slow you down, that they've played in, like with Texas Tech. So they've handled playing against a team like that, or you get more firepower in a team like Baylor, or other teams that can run. So I don't necessarily know if Villanova can score. There's been games they've scored over, I think it was like at least 10 times that they've scored over 70 something points. So it's not like they can't get into a full court kind of high scoring game with them, but I don't necessarily know what the tempo, what they want to do to outlast Kansas here. If they really, because really it's going to come down to, reading, it seems like Kansas, if you can turn them over, you have a shot. So, but Villanova is not a team necessarily that turns people over a lot. So they're going to have to come up with something that they don't really do a lot of to try to make Kansas uncomfortable. And another thing is Villanova hasn't shot all that well in the tournament. But they also, I think Houston was 1 of 20 in shooting threes.
Yeah, so, they shot terrible against them.
Can they do the same thing against Kansas. I think, though, the difference with Kansas is they can beat you in multiple ways, and they're not necessarily a great three-point shooting team, so they may not even try to rely on doing that. So for me, the depth, losing more, I think that Gillespie, as good as he is, I don't necessarily know if he's a guy who can just take over games. I think he's more of a true kind of point guard that can get you buckets. But I think that Kansas has the better overall, like NBA level type of players and college players. So really, I think as long as Kansas doesn't get into a battle like Joey said, where it's a 1 or 2 point free throw game, Kansas is shooting 67% from free throw or something like right in that range, where we see they're shooting 90%. I think it was 90%, right? Which is ridiculous as a team. So they just got to be up late because there's no coming back on a team that shoots 90% as a team.
There's not.
So I would say, to
Don't
me,
foul them.
I like the line of, what is it, around 4.5, 5. I think Kansas covers. If we have to make the pick, I think Kansas will cover. And but you never know. I mean, Villanova always finds a way to win these games, even though, you look at that Carolina team that they beat in the championship. Carolina had more talent as far as just
team
guys,
yes.
And they still found a way to beat them. So, Jay Wright's going to have them coached up. And, there's a reason that Villanova is probably the best program in basketball over the last 5 or 6 years. So I wouldn't be, I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and win. But right now, just on paper, I think I got to lean towards Kansas.
Yeah, I'm just going to join both of y'all on that, just because I think for me it would have been like a pick 'em. I just think Kansas right now, with that kid missing the game because of the injury, is just going to be maybe too much for Nova to get over in this particular game. So we'll see, though. I mean, obviously Jay Wright has done an amazing job with that program. So they're going to be ready. It's going to be a good game. Could be low scoring, right? Hopefully it won't be like 50-40 like that game against Houston, where 50-40 was the final.
Yeah.
Man, that's a low scoring game. Okay, now for the big one, the big boy, right? We got UNC Duke matching up for the first time in the NCAA tournament. And here on CJ Squared, we have a huge UNC fan and a huge Duke fan, because he likes the way Krzyzewski molds his players.
The greatest molder of men in college basketball.
Greatest molder of men.
House divided here. House divided. A
house divided. Yeah, this is really a house divided, because you got Chris likes UNC, you like Duke, I like Syracuse, so I don't care about neither one of y'all right now.
You don't love either of them.
No, not since we moved to the ACC. No. Okay, I wish we would have stayed in the Big East. Right, give me the Big East, Syracuse all day. Forget the ACC. But anyway, so I'm going to start with you, Chris. What is your take on the game? And before I even start talking, we know you hate to go for your team in situations like this, but what do you actually think is going to happen in this game?
I mean, this one's tough, because I think that the way Carolina beat them in the last game at Cameron, Duke still came out, scored 80-something points. They shot almost 50%. As much as I am wanting Carolina, I think that really is just going to come down to, can Carolina's guards stay hot? And the thing with the Carolina guards is those guys, like, remember at Caleb Love last game, he was taking where I would be like, when you're watching the game, you're like, he's heat checking almost every time he's coming down the court. And I'm like, no, that's a horrible shot. Oh, okay. All right. Like every time you're just like, do not take that shot. And then it goes in. You're like, all right. So it's one of those things where, it was Davis a couple weeks ago, like the other Baylor game, he just took over. And then Caleb Love comes out. So they've got guys who aren't afraid of the big moment.
Mm-hmm.
So if one of those guys, if one of those guys catches fire, Carolina definitely has, and we've seen it, they have the ability to stay with Duke and beat them. Duke, I think, is more consistent. You kind of know what you're going to get with them. Banchero, Moore, they've got guys who definitely NBA top 10 level picks, so where Carolina's maybe doesn't have that kind of level of talent, but they got guys who are just as confident as those guys that they can play with those guys. And Carolina's got their own All-American type players. You know what I mean? So I would say that Carolina, to beat Duke, you got to hold them to poor shooting numbers. And in all of the games, games versus Carolina Duke, they haven't shown that they can do that. So that's what scares me, is that you beat Duke last time and they still scored 80 and they still shot over, almost 50%. So can you find a way again to beat them if you can't shut them down? You know what I mean? That's going to be, and they, because then you're going to have to score 80 something points, which Carolina can do, but I don't know. That just scares me. So I kind of am underplaying that Carolina has a shot because I'm a fan and I feel like I just don't want to jinx it. So I'll go with, so for me, I wouldn't be surprised again, just like Villanova, if Carolina comes out and wins, especially because if you got guys who can get hot, which Carolina does, Carolina has more guys than, say, Villanova that can take over the games. So, and they're another team where I had said where Gonzaga, if you hit them in the mouth and they can't do what they want to do, Carolina can do that. They can switch things up and try to dominate in other ways because they can beat you inside or outside with Bacot and Manek. So I think that, that there is a recipe there. Oh, it's just going to be a ridiculous game. I hope it's just a classic game and it ends up just being, but I mean, Carolina's on a roll right now. So
they are.
Yeah.
They beat a 1 seed. They beat a good UCLA team that was there last year. That was experienced.
Same team.
Yeah. So we'll see. I just hope it's a good one.
Mm-hmm. All right, Joey, let's talk about your boy, the Mulder.
The Mulder.
Coach K's got 2 games left.
You already calling it, huh? I got you.
The first game Saturday night. There definitely needs to be some sort of adjustment by the Duke defense to keep what's the big boy that shoots threes?
With the beard, Brady Manek.
Manek is a Duke killer right now.
He's been on fire then.
He has shot 55% from 3 in 2 games against them. We speak of the Carolina guards. He has probably been the most consistent player for them for the entire season. They have to find a way to slow him down. They want to let the guards go crazy. That's fine, but they need to slow Manek down. Manek is doing whatever he wants against the Duke defense. The last game of Carolina was the Carolina guards didn't shoot all that well, but you put them onto the free throw line, they knocked them down. Carolina shot 14 more free throws than Duke did in the last game. That tells me that they were more aggressive. They weren't settling for jumpers. They were getting to the cup as much as they possibly can. Maybe Duke was a little bit so hyped over, oh, this is Coach K's last game, we can't lose this game. They were maybe over aggressive in certain moments, and you put them into the bonus, they were knocking them down Villanova style. They were definitely knocking them down. I'm very intrigued by Jeremy Roach's rise. Coming back to the starting lineup, he's hitting NBA type shots as a point guard. He's getting to the cup. He's finishing with his right and his left hand. He's controlling the pace of the game for the Duke offense. He is hot at the right moments. Hot at the right moment. Trevor Keels, I like what I'm seeing out of him. Also, the last game, Cameron. Wendell Moore did nothing in the last game against Cameron. He needs to. He's who I feel I like the ball in his hands more than anybody on the Duke roster. I want him having it as much as possible. And AJ Griffin destroyed the Carolina defense in Chapel Hill, and he did absolutely nothing in Cameron. He needs to show up. Young kid needs to show up. This is going to be. I'm hoping that this is an absolute classic. There are two games. Coach K.
CBS is loving it.
Oh, they're not getting it though.
Who's got the T? Who's got it?
CBS got it.
Why would they?
You don't got cable, then you ain't watching it.
CBS got it this year.
Why would they that not be on?
I think
they signed the contract.
They got it this year. Yeah.
What can be on at 9:00 on a Saturday night on TBS or CBS? It's not.
Just
Survivor reruns.
Yeah,
some that you ain't trying to watch, probably. Yeah. All right.
That's ridiculous.
So there you go. So I am hoping that it's a good game. I'm going to probably swallow the pill and actually watch it.
There you go.
Because I'm hoping it's a good game. I'm hoping that both games are good. And so
you have your Syracuse shirt on.
You will.
Nah,
you'll have a Syracuse just to show no.
Nah, I won't. I don't need to do that. It's good because we all know who is the real leader in wins in NCAA history. And just because they think that he, has some violations, they took away 100 something wins from my man Jim Boeheim, and so now he trails Coach K. That's some bull crap.
Yeah.
But anyway,
they took those wins, and the Fab Five never made it to the Final Four either.
Yeah, get out of here with
that nonsense.
And then you had the guy from LSU on pretty much being recorded, talking about that he's trying to make deals, and then he said they won't me. Yeah, come on.
They just got him.
And just got rid of him like 3 years later.
That's so long.
Yeah, whatever.
Well,
So
Wade was a VCU coach at one point, right?
Yes, he was.
Wade? Yeah.
All I know is that Jim Boeheim, them taking away Jim Boeheim's wins was a slap in the face. And speaking of slaps in the face,
let's segue, JB.
Talk about. I'm gonna pass it on to Chris because we got some things that we going to talk about real quick that it may interest you. Go ahead.
So what are they calling it? Slap heard around the world, right? So I think everyone's touched on this pretty much. So now we'll do this is our stuff part of the CJ Squared Sports and Stuff. So we'll throw this to Joey. What was your take on the Will Smith and Chris Rock slap that occurred on Sunday night at the Oscars?
Shock and awe. That's what it was. Shock and awe. Of course, Will Smith was absolutely wrong for what he did. Chris Rock may have stepped over the line with his comment, possibly. At least that's what the Smith said. So no, you don't expect something like that. Of course, in hindsight, we want to say go back and handle things better. But you do wonder. You ask, okay, well, we like having fun, but people are having fun at someone else's expense, right? So is there an actual line? What is the actual line? And now, are comedians in danger? Well, are we going to see this more? So a lot of questions to ask when it comes to this, but shock and awe. And I'm upset that it happened. I wish it would have never happened because
let me ask you, Joey, should he have been able to continue to sit there and watch the rest and accept his award? Or as you as an Oscar guy, are you kicking him out? If
we're going on the rule of law, then no. Because but since he has so much money, I mean, you have when you have a privileges.
Like JB said, they said today, I heard that that they actually tried to tell him to go, and they
botched it.
He's nah.
They definitely botched it.
I am not going.
I'm just going to sit here.
He's just holding on to this.
He's like
he's just slapping everybody.
I'm just going to sit here with Jada.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Shock and awe.
JB, what's your take?
Okay, Chris and Joey. This is my take on it, right? So Joey talked about crossing a line and was a line crossed. Now, for me, if a line was truly crossed, you would not have seen an image of Will Smith laughing at the joke when it was told.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he would have been angry immediately, still, he shouldn't have he had no right to go on stage and slap somebody that's telling a joke. Chris Rock is a comedian. And what's the rule about comedians? If you don't want a joke told on you, don't sit in the first row. Because that's what comedians do. Right?
This is true.
And but besides all that, I mean, that's just like the semantics of it. I mean, for me, he started laughing when a joke was told. Even though Jada was upset, clearly she was upset or taken back by it. Will Smith was laughing. And to me, it's like he tried to save face with her by doing that after he laughed. What he should have done is he could have addressed that later with Chris Rock without violence, right? He could have talked to Jada later about it without violence.
Mm-hmm.
But that right there was it was pure stupidity.
It was. And
then after you slap him, you're going to come and sit down and keep my wife's name out your, really? And you want people to, and then you want to come on and talking about love? No, it's too late, bro. You already, everything you're saying now about love and all this togetherness is done. It means nothing to the average person. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
And then what? We gonna just start slapping comedians on stage? What? What? You can't be a comedian now? You were up and coming comedian and you one of those at one of those comedy clubs and you can't clown somebody?
Right.
Now they gonna come on stage and slap you and walk away. And here's my last take on it. Chris Rock showed great professionalism by not busting Will Smith in the back of his damn head. Because let me tell you the one rule of smacking somebody or punching somebody in their face. When you punch them or smack them, you don't turn your back. Because you about to get hit in the back of your head.
The Morris twins know that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you don't, because he turned his back on Joker. What did Joker do? You didn't care. Turn your back, you're still getting hit.
Absolutely.
You might as well take it up front or see it coming. Because you turn your back after a slap.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you, man, I ain't even no fighter. So I'm telling you, you slap me in my face and then turn your back. Oh, I'm going to strike back. I'm going to get you. And Chris Rock showed great professionalism. Yeah, he knows better than that.
He does.
I'm with you guys. I mean, for one, these type of shows, they always have a comedian there for one of the reasons. It's not just a regular actor, right? That's just maybe doesn't like a Brad Pitt or somebody. They have comedians to say jokes, and we expect them to bust on the celebrities a little bit, but not that. I don't think that was way overboard. I mean, it's one of those things where millions of people have this thing. It's not like you know what I mean? It's not like she got her arm cut off and it's
alopecia.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah, it sucks,
I have it.
I mean, yeah. So, I mean, how many guys? Yeah, like it's not something that, it was that far way over the line that if I had heard it, I wouldn't even been like, oh, you know what I mean? Like you hear jokes out there on those things that they really get into some of those people.
People take things differently, though.
Let me be real here, though. We understand that, man. Right? But okay, she looked like G.I. Jane, bro. You seen the movie?
I'm not laughing.
I'm telling you, though. You see the movie, right?
Yeah.
She looked like her haircut was like Demi Moore's haircut.
It does look like Demi Moore's haircut. It does.
Wait, what did old boy do?
Even if he wanted to, like you said, he's laughing. Even if he felt the need to go up and have a conversation with him at that point and just say, look, dude, don't, just don't disrespect my wife. If he had just said that and then went and sat back down, nobody would be saying anything, right?
Or he said, hey, or he could have went up there and said, hey, Chris, my wife got a condition right now.
Exactly. So and then everybody would say, then everybody be looking at Chris Rock, right? Everybody go, oh, that's it. Look at him. Everyone would be saying, look at Will Smith.
I would have said nothing. I would have said,
or it just wouldn't even have been a thing. Everybody,
joke.
Whatever.
Wouldn't have been a thing, right?
Yeah, it's a joke, man. Right? I mean, if you're a comedian and you can't tell jokes that going to make somebody mad, then you ain't no good comedian.
Yeah, true. And Chris Rock is, I would say, on a level of 1 through 10 of him ripping into people and joking on people, that's pretty tame for Chris Rock. So, so for me, even if you felt the need to protect and jump out like he says he did, there's ways to.
You laugh at first, though, man.
Yeah.
Once that initial laugh happens, it's you can't protect nobody no more. You can't say, now I'm going to protect you after I laughed at you.
What if it's a type of laugh like yeah?
But Joey, it wasn't.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know that, though.
No, Joey, he was laughing. He was laughing the regular.
It didn't look like that.
That's a good joke, Chris. Oh, you funny, Chris. That kind of laugh right there.
Feel like that.
Guess what? Guess what?
Didn't feel like that.
Don't make excuses for the man. I don't care how he felt.
He was wrong.
It don't matter how he felt. It was wrong as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think
it was wrong on so many levels. Like, it was wrong because it's a joke. He's a comedian, and you don't go on stage and slap a comedian.
Yeah.
Like, and then it was wrong because you are perpetuating stereotypes about Black men on national TV in front of millions of people. It's wrong with that. And it's just wrong because you don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't go around slapping people and then turn your back and walk away.
Yeah, because even in normal life, if somebody made that joke to somebody, you might say something, but you rarely would just instantly go from 0 to 60 and just be wow, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're
also like, millions of people are watching this. You have a chance to win an Oscar, one of the most major awards in entertainment for your role in a movie. And that's what you do. And then you come back talking about some love and peace.
Yeah.
Get out of here, man. I never heard that bull crap.
Or even if he just mentioned, like you said, if he had mentioned in his speech and said, my wife is battling with this or whatever, then everybody would say, oh, look at Will Smith is a good husband. Like, you know what I mean? Then there's just so many ways that he could have done it. He picked the worst way possible to handle it.
The worst.
It's like it's like a kid at like a 7-year-old would do. Like, you make fun of somebody and then they slap you. You know what I mean? It's like that base level. Like, you haven't matured enough to know how to handle something and you just slap them. it's just crazy to see. So
snap them, and then you start, and then you just curse.
And then just go crazy because people were saying it was fake. It was not. You could tell he was bitter when he was yelling. There was no fakeness, and
yeah,
I mean, it definitely wasn't fake. Everyone was, it was fake. You could have maybe been fake if it was just a slap, but if he went back to his seat and he's yelling like that, you could see the anger on his face.
Yeah, you could.
In his face.
But it was funny when he goes, Chris Rock. I actually thought he was going to say that was weird. That was, and
we got to copyright that.
I was like, oh my gosh, he almost said that was weird.
And what just happened?
We got to copyright
that was the most amazing night or something like that. But I thought for a second he was like, that was, and then he said,
I was sitting here with my wife. She was like, yo, this is real. I'm like, yo, this dude is bugging.
Well, you could tell he was shook a little bit, but he handled himself well. But you could tell
he handled it well.
You could tell he was shaking up because he was trying to gather himself. So
I said he's about to cry. I said, man, who knows?
But I actually heard him
cry in the car.
I saw that.
He'll go cry in the car.
Yeah,
that's from Friday. He's gonna go cry in the car. Like just normal conversation. He's gonna go cry in the car.
Well, Wanda Sykes said that he apologized to her. He said for ruining their night because it was Sykes, Schumer, and who was the other host?
Yeah, they were hosting it. Yeah.
What's the name from Scary Movie and The Best Man?
Oh, who was the freaking host? Was it?
What's her name?
Regina Hall?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Was she the host?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so he apologized to them saying he ruined his night. It's like, no, Will Smith ruined it. You were just doing your job. I don't even know if he wrote the joke, is what I heard. He went back and slapped the joke writer.
Yes, he did.
He was like, I'm passing this down the line.
Did you write this?
Who wrote it? He's like, Will. He's like holding his arms back. Will, slap this guy. All right, so we all agree. All right, let's switch back to some sports. We'll go. We got some Lakers talk. LeBron had some injury.
We have to.
And has played a ton of minutes this past month. And they're struggling for a playoff spot. So if you're the Lakers, are you rolling with him or are you trying to shut him down, maybe play some less minutes, do some, what do they call it, where you're regulating his game? There's
load management, ramping up.
Yeah, exactly. So what are you guys thinking? JB, what are you doing if you're the Lakers now?
Man, look, unless LeBron wants to play because he's trying to chase Kareem. And look, the Lakers schedule? Let me just tell y'all the Lakers schedule coming up. Let me just help y'all out here and tell me, do they have a chance in hell to even make the play-in? So the Lakers, LeBron is not playing on these next 2 games with his road trip. He went home already, just so y'all know that. He already took the plane back and is not playing. Okay. So
where are they at in the standings?
They got Utah. They got Utah on Thursday night.
Loss.
Then they got New Orleans coming in, who they just gave up a 25 point lead to.
Loss.
Then they got Denver coming in on Sunday.
Loss.
Then they go to Phoenix.
Loss.
Then they go to Golden State.
Loss.
They play OKC at home.
They've blown that one.
Then they go to Denver. So for what you just said, Joey, they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games left. You got them going 1-6. Why is LeBron gonna play?
All right, so let's see.
He can play the play-in game and get blown out as the 8th seed against the Suns. The Suns would love to see them play them because they were talking. Lakers been doing this chirping. The Suns would love to see them come.
They will.
Man, you gotta sit LeBron down. Just call it a year, bro.
So the Spurs, who they're battling with, they've got Trailblazers Friday, then the Trailblazers again on Sunday.
That's 2 dubs.
Then they've got the Nuggets, Timberwolves, Warriors, and the Mavericks.
Okay.
So they might go what, 3-3?
They definitely got an easier.
That does
schedule.
sound like splitting.
They got an easier schedule. I know that.
And who's right behind? Well, Portland, so it won't come down.
I mean, that's it. It's down to the Spurs and the Lakers for that 10th spot. The Lakers are back up 1.5. Half a game on them because the Spurs lost tonight. But the Spurs got the Blazers back to back, and then the Lakers have the Jazz and the Mavericks. Oh my goodness. It's a wrap, bro.
They are only 2 games over 500 at home. 2 games.
At the beginning of the year, they had all those games at home beginning of the season.
Yes, they did. Oh my gosh. This is a wrap. Hang it up. LeBron needs to be like, look.
Yeah, it's over, man.
He needs to meet with the front office. He needs to call a front office meeting and discuss the roster for next year. He clearly made the wrong trade and got Westbrook, even though, look, let's say the Westbrook trade didn't happen. Let's say that they had brought in
Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield. Are they, how much better are they?
Who knows?
I mean, I don't think
they gave up so many guys in that Westbrook trade. They gave up all their glue guys in Kuzma and Caldwell Pope, especially Caldwell Pope on the defensive end,
Yeah. So
or if they just kept those two, are they they're probably about the same, right? Or better.
It's already in the play. They still in the play in.
Yeah, they figured that they were just that bad. I mean, they were hurt a lot last year. Did they figure that they were just that bad last year and that they just needed? I'm sure they wanted some more offensive power to conserve LeBron so that he's not the main one handling the ball. Westbrook is just not that guy anymore. As great as he is, he's becoming sort of a cancer in the NBA. He's sort of playing himself out.
He has with the wrong team, man. That's all.
Yeah.
It's just he's just with the wrong team.
Well, I think with Westbrook is what everyone's always said, and I think we've talked about it, where all the great players have figured out a way once their athleticism starts to go, they've figured out a way to still dominate the game. And Westbrook has never been able to transition to that next step. You know what I mean?
He hasn't.
Like Kobe's done it, Michael's done it. Like all these guys have been able to he just was never developed that jumper, really consistently been able to hit, like Jordan's had the fade away, like, because your athleticism is going to start to go, especially the way he played. He was so dependent on being able to just bully his way to the basket and be such an athletic guard. I don't know. I don't think as many shows and things as we heard, did anyone actually call it that Westbrook would even be a great fit? You know what I mean? Like LeBron has never been a guy who has played with those kind of guys.
Right.
He's always, even Dwayne Wade, for as much of a scorer, he had to become something a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Play with LeBron, he has a certain style he wants to play with. Even Kyrie's the same way. Like he lets him have his moments.
Kyrie loved Kevin Durant, though. Kevin Durant.
Yeah. But Kevin Durant's another guy. He's going to get his. So he's a guy who can score 30 whenever he feels like it. Mm-hmm. So I think Durant's like, those great scorers that pretty much just say, well, you get yours because I know I'll get mine whenever I feel like it. Mm-hmm. I just feel like it's a bad fit. Losing Anthony Davis. I mean, at this point in LeBron's career, he can still go off on games and still be a top 5 player. I mean, we've seen him in stretches this year look like
leading the league in scoring right now.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he's, but I think there's some of that is him. LeBron is very legacy conscious, right? So I think
Yes.
more so than any other guy, any other superstar maybe that we know. You know what I mean? That is that level. I think he wants to be considered the greatest of all time, no matter what. So I think there's a certain amount of him going, well, I did what I had to do, and it's everybody else, right? So, you know, but now people are saying I'm not a great scorer. I'm not an all-time great scorer, and I'm going to show them I can lead the league if I feel like it. You know what I mean? I think that LeBron is in that mode right now of like just trying to pad his stats and
he better shut it down. I mean, he can play the last couple of games, but they're not playing for nothing. They're just playing to go home.
Playing for nothing.
They're going fishing.
Yeah, exactly. You might as well just hang it up. He had a great individual year. I lost it.
It's a wrap.
He comes out and he's got a shoe.
Yes, he does. That's it.
That's it.
And it's a dang.
I mean, and then if Anthony Davis doesn't find a way to stay healthy, next year, what are they gonna do? The same stuff? I mean,
as LeBron is a player, I don't even think he really comes off bad in this situation. I think he comes off as a guy who can't pick who he wants to play with all these last couple of years. But as a player, I think I think it's Anthony Davis has taken a huge hit to his, because now, he's Mr. Glass for sure.
Mr. Glass.
The old Samuel L. So, all right, Joey, we'll keep it in basketball. We'll go to Joey. We'll move it to something that Anthony Davis will not be in the consideration of.
MVP. Let's rank your top 4 in the MVP vote right now for the NBA. Where you going, JB?
All right, I told y'all mine. It's funny, like I heard when the Nets were playing the Hornets the other day, I heard them yelling MVP for Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant hasn't played enough games to be MVP, even though everybody keeps saying he's the best player on the planet right now. And I even heard, I was watching some game and somebody was screaming MVP for, it was like, I don't know, it was like somebody like, what? Hey, MVP? I can't remember. I was watching it, but I couldn't believe it. It's like, why are we yelling MVP with somebody that's on this team?
Those are the dang Jokic brothers screaming.
But it wasn't even for Jokic. It was oh my God, I was watching the game on League Pass the other day, and they were yelling MVP, and it wasn't for somebody that deserved to be yelling MVP for.
Okay.
But anyway, so my MVPs right now, my top 4, I'm gonna start with the bottom. I got Giannis. Giannis is I think he's tied for second in the league in points, and he is 5th in rebounds, and of course he just is doing Giannis type stuff, man. He's the Greek freak. Giannis is one of the best players in the league, in the world, and people try to slight him and discount him.
I did last year.
But he is from where he came from and where he is now, great story, and he just continues to get better and work harder.
Yes, he does.
And then for number 3, I got the reigning MVP, Joker. And for me, it's the Joker's team right now is almost in the play-in game, so maybe that's why he doesn't deserve to be up there. But Joker's has reached a level now in his game that he will be considered for MVP every year at the start of the year. He is the real unicorn, not Porzingis.
He is phenomenal.
All right, because Joker is a player that does not have any of the athletic ability like Porzingis, but is a better shooter, passer, rebounder, everything that Porzingis was supposed to be. And remember, Joker was a 2nd round pick. Got traded to Denver for the guy who Portland got, Nurkic. I think that's his name. Nurkic, yeah. Who's also a pretty decent player too.
He's a pretty decent player.
All right, then my number 2 is Embiid. He would be number 1, but I really think the number 1 pick should go to the player that's pretty much on the best team, and that's the team that's putting in the best numbers, right? So I know they do the old Jordan thing, like when Jordan was playing. Realistically, Jordan should have and could have been the MVP every year.
Mm-hmm.
There was a year that Charles Barkley won it, and Jordan beat him in the finals. Jordan was like, "You the MVP? I'm the real MVP." Like Kevin Durant to his mom, "You the real MVP. You the real MVP." All right. And then Malone did the same. Karl Malone did the same thing. Karl Malone was the MVP, and that year the Bulls just went through their whole, Bulls thing. Yep. And 2 years in a row, right?
2 years in a row. A lot of
people said the mailman don't deliver on Sunday. Missed them free throws. So, but anyway, so Embiid at number 2. It's probably gonna come down to Embiid and Joker. My number 1 probably won't be in the conversation, but I think he should. I don't think they give him enough credit. That's Devin Booker. Mm-hmm. Devin Booker has been a baller. I call this after the bubble last year. I talked about it all last year, how Devin Booker was balling, and he's just taking it to a whole another level this year. Just the mid-range games, the jumpers. When Chris Paul went out to go for the lead guard role, and just they didn't miss a beat as a team. So that's my number 1. So I got Book at 1, Embiid 2, Joker 3, and Giannis at 4.
Where you going, Chris?
Give me Morant at 4. I think that what he's done there and kind of the step he has taken is ridiculous. I mean, the one thing that hurts him, I think JB talked about this before, was that they're
19-2 when he doesn't play.
Yeah, so that's
and he's missed 21 games.
So I think when you get away from, for me, the top 3 guys, even if you Booker's not in my top 4, but I think he could easily make a case. I think when you get into those guys, they got a little bit more holes, and I'll throw Booker in there even because of the games missed. And he does play with Paul, who we've seen is definitely an all-NBA type of player. So
that's Joy's MVP, Chris Paul, every year.
Yeah, we'll see if he
every year is MVP. Because Joy has been saying Chris Paul is the MVP. Before he got hurt, he was saying that Chris Paul was the MVP.
Yeah, so I think Booker gets hurt a little bit by that, right? Because he's playing with him, or the other guys that we're talking about. Even though Embiid now with Harden, but I think that Embiid did enough on his own before Harden to look like he's carrying that team. So I got Morant, and I think Morant is a lock, right, for most improved.
Yes.
Right.
They're not gonna give Morant most improved.
I saw his odds were like minus 800 at one point.
They probably gonna give that to somebody else on his team.
You think so? All right.
I think Desmond Bane will get most improved.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it could be Morant. Morant wasn't an all-star last year, but he could be. Morant definitely could be in line for most improved because
I think that they seem to like to give those guys,
But I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't even think Morant's gonna be. He may not be not even be a first or second team guard.
Yeah, I mean it's loaded there. I mean you could
because of the injuries. Because right now I gotta tell you, Ice Trey is going to be on one of the All NBA teams,
and we'll do that. Remember we did that.
We're gonna do our own.
We did last year. I got the PowerPoints ready.
You'll have to we have to pull up see if you can find last year's PowerPoint. How close we were.
We did our picks, and then we saw what the league picked. I even did like, I had Joey's face like this. Wasn't it Joey? You were like this or something. I forgot what it was. You were doing. You were like.
Was that my Embiid cry?
Oh, it might have been the Embiid. Yeah.
I
told y'all what you do. Y'all need to make some some emojis, man, so we can change it up. Have some emojis as our pictures and stuff.
Definitely do.
I gotta get a new phone because I can't ever get any apps.
So you better get a new phone, Chris.
Joey, keep my. No, I have an S8, but it's got 99% memory. So whenever I download an app, I always have to take other apps off.
Like Kelly Bundy. It's a new information that goes out the other end, loses something.
Every time I get something new, I'm like, hold on, let me take all 3 apps.
Do you realize that most what company do you have? You Sprint?
What am I with? I'm Verizon, yeah.
I think Verizon is the one that's not doing it, but I know Sprint and AT&T are letting you trade in your S8s or whatever.
Yeah, I saw that on there.
My wife traded her S8 in for S22.
Yeah, I saw it. I'll have to look because that's a ridiculous deal. So I
traded my S20 in for S22, and I'm not paying anything at all.
Oh, really? Is the S22? How much better is the 22 than the 20? Or is it marginally better? Yeah.
It's a phone. I usually don't spend all the time thinking, how can it be better? The picture, the camera's good. The function is good. If you're a Samsung guy like me, you will like it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, I just need
iPhone. That's the only thing wrong with it.
Joey, the Apple guy. I'm Samsung.
Yeah. Yes, Chris. My brother, yes, Chris, my brother.
Even though it's old.
I don't care. You still my brother.
I'm still with you. All right. So yeah. So I got Giannis just because at this point with Giannis, he's getting into that LeBron level and like Durant, where when he's playing, he's doing phenomenal things, and we're not even really. It's just he is who he is at this point. We're just like, yeah, he's scoring 28.
He's up there.
10 he's just dominating games, and we're just like, all right, he's in the take it for granted how good he is level at this point now.
Yes, he is.
So unfortunately for him, and that's LeBron and Jordan. And once you're that level, we just, you just assume those guys are going to do that.
Yeah, he had 30, 20, and 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly
he's the Greek freak. You expect that.
Yeah. Milwaukee's right there, top 2 or 3 team. Oh, whatever. It's just ho hum for him. So unfortunately, once you get to that level. So for me, I got Embiid 2 and the Joker 1. I'll give you some stats why. So you got Embiid beats him in points, right? And he beats him in blocks. But everything else, Joker beats him in rebounds. He's ridiculous. 8th in assists as a center is ridiculous. You look at all the guys around him in assists, they're all guards. And then he's averaging 8 assists a game as a center. That's crazy. No one else on his team averages more than 15 points a game.
Right.
Even though everyone's saying that their records, that if you look at the Nuggets where they're at. So right now, and I'm not sure if this is updated to count today's game, Philly is 46-29. Denver is 46-31.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he's not really playing with Jamal Murray out, right? He's not playing with another superstar. He's shooting 57%, Embiid shooting like 48, 49%. So pretty much he look at his stats for steals. Let me see his steal stats. He's in 15th in steals. Every other person around him is again all guards. He's doing like crazy stuff, and he's another one that we're just taking for granted. Only because at this point, it's because he's not higher up in the standings. If he was really Embiid is a little bit better scorer, but he's improved on his MVP season in every one of those things, except he's down like 0.3 in points. That's it. Everything else is improved.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that, to me, he should get it. Now, I wouldn't think that if Embiid gets it, they like to like give those things to different guys. So I wouldn't be surprised. But to me, it's Joker just because of his all-around game. Whereas Embiid he's a better scorer, but I think really that's all he beats him at. I think he's a better shot blocker, but he's a little bit better. It's not like he's Gobert, you know what I mean? Embiid's not a dominant shot blocker. He's just good, so
yeah.
To me, it's the Joker. I don't know if I swayed you guys.
I mean, your arguments are valid. I mean, Joker is. I mean, the only problem is there's only one MVP. They're all in. That's why they all in MVP consideration, because they're all MVP caliber players. And any argument that anybody makes is good, pretty much. There's an argument for all of them. So what's your take, Joey?
Yes, he's done. Joker is going to be third on my list. he is
Chris Paul won.
Yeah. He is worthy of winning it. I think this is just a situation where he's dominating. It's not an unforgettable season. Of course, we don't have many of those. I mean, those are like the upper echelon guys, and he may end up being one of those guys. It's just, I mean, you can, like you just said it, Chris. He down the stat line and the record of the teams, you can see that Joker is probably a little bit better stat wise. He is number 3 on my list. Number 4 is Devin Booker. I figure the reason why Devin Booker will be number 4 is because when the real MVP of the league got hurt, Devin Booker stepped up, and Phoenix went 11-4 in his absence. I thought that was a great time for Golden State to be like, okay, we can make a move, possibly get home court. Phoenix's home court is back to being that is a true for them. It's very difficult playing there. When Phoenix is really good, it is difficult playing at what was it called back in the day? The America West,
something like that.
It is difficult playing there. Those fans can get really, really loud.
What is the name of the Phoenix Suns old stadium?
Remember the
American West.
Okay, got you. So for Golden State to not make that move, now it didn't match up for Golden State either, because
Golden State gonna be the 3 seed now.
They had to go through injuries, and it didn't work out. They're not playing their best basketball. Phoenix held on to it. Phoenix looks like they are just going to run through everybody the way things are going for them.
Run through them like a bad case of bad case of chili or diarrhea. They're gonna run through them like that.
Phoenix has made some great moves to shore up the protecting the basket. I didn't really believe in him much last year. I am a believer here. He is worthy of being number 4 for me because he kept the ship sailing going forward when the captain went down. So
like I got this wheel.
That is a big old wheel, and he was able to handle it. That was a big old.
Aiden, get the flag.
Number 2 on my list, Giannis. Giannis is special. Bottom line, he is special, and I'll go number 1 with Embiid.
Is it because Embiid was on your fantasy team?
That is part of it. He is
Joey saw him nightly.
He is due. He is due. He has. I want to say is it for him? He's probably played Has he played close to the most games that he's had in his career. He's played in a lot more games.
How many games have Joel Embiid played this year?
He's missed a couple of them. I do know that.
Still, for him, the knock was always.
Joel Embiid.
Remember, the knock was he was injury prone.
Won't be on.
And never be able to play full season.
He's played 62 games so far.
Games. Okay, decent amount. He's due. He's had more than a few 40-point games. I think.
Yeah, but Giannis has only played 62.
Okay.
Let me see how many. Luka's played 59. So that might just be. Let me see Trae Young. How many has he played? He's played 69, but you would assume Trae Young.
What about Jokic?
Games have the Joker played this year?
He hasn't missed one.
Here is information from basketball-reference.com.
69 games.
Okay. All right.
Tatum's played 71.
So Embiid's due. That's the only reason why. If he doesn't win it, I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, what is going on? No, there are 4 or 5 guys that are definitely worthy. Tatum is on the outside looking in. Boston's having an outstanding season. Took a huge loss the other day. There's starting to
they had a huge loss tonight too to Miami.
Oh,
but
wow.
Yeah, I'm talking about losing Williams, the center. That was big.
Yeah, so
they changed their whole trajectory right there.
Yes, it does. So let's move on from the NBA. Let's go to the NFL because there have been some big time moves that have been going on in the offseason. I don't ever remember a year where we had this amount of moves and just the overall story of what is happening in the National Football League. But Baker Mayfield's
massive names.
Yes. And the thing is, as of right now, the Cleveland Browns have 2 first-round picks playing quarterback. We know that one is definitely not going to play, which is going to be Baker Mayfield. And there is no way Baker Mayfield, being a former number 1 overall pick, is going to be a backup quarterback.
Amen.
So, Chris, where should Baker Mayfield go?
I would say, I know we talked about Green Bay maybe trying to go after like a Metcalf or somebody if they just want to blow it up. But if you got those 2 guys there and you're really just not completely on a rebuild, I would say Seattle, if they're not deciding that they just want to tear it down and completely restart. Just because, you got 2 receivers who are definitely above average. How often do you get a Metcalf and Lockett, those 2-level guys, on both sides? You've got those 2 guys. They still can run the ball. Defensively, they're not horrible. But to me, if you're not going to just tear it down, why would you not go after a guy who is at least a playoff quarterback that we've seen? I don't know if he's not a guy who can go out and win you a ton of games, but I don't think that, he's going to at least give you a shot. Now the West is tough. So maybe he goes to somebody like Carolina who has weapons. But to me, I would say Seattle, just because I don't know who's even going to start there. That's definitely an upgrade over. I would say it's an upgrade over Locke. He's been in the playoffs before, right? 2 years ago, he was in the playoffs.
Yes.
So, but maybe they want to roll the dice with Locke. I would say the 2 teams would be maybe Carolina and Seattle, but I'll say Seattle just because he's got weapons there. So, and I would think that would be a team he would want to pick, but I wouldn't really be surprised if he goes to a team like Pittsburgh, who's kind of similar mold, JB.
And they got a great molder there, I'll tell you that.
Where should Baker go? If I put some thought into it, maybe I would care. But but what teams? I'll tell you a team that could use. I actually said this on our last discussion about this, I did mention Seattle with how they want to play with the play action passing game, because that seems to suit Baker. Baker needs to go to a team where you got a good defense, decent defense, and you got a good run game, and you don't have to depend on him, but you also can give him some weapons where he can actually, do something with it. I mean, and in Cleveland they had OBJ, but clearly that chemistry between him and Odell was not there at all. And
he was better without. He was better without him, and
which makes no sense. How do you got a really good receiver? How do you go out there and you're better without that guy? It makes no sense. So I think by the way, I think your Golden State one may hit for the under, because right now it's 88-91 with 6 minutes left.
Like that, huh?
I said what?
It didn't start off looking like that, did it?
I know. And what did I say my total was? 222? 221 and a half, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I need 9 more points in this game to hit it. I need 9 more points, and they got 2 minutes and 42 seconds left. I need 9 more points total.
You should get that.
All right. So I mean, anyway, but yeah, Baker, I think Seattle will be a good fit. I think Carolina will be a good fit because you got some decent receivers and you got Christian McCaffrey back there. Baker likes to pass the ball to the flats, to the running backs. He passed the ball a lot to Kareem Hunt and whoever else was back there. For some reason, they don't pass the ball to Nick Chubb, probably one of the best backs in the league. But that's on the coach. I mean, honestly, a lot of that stuff, I think that for Cleveland, even with Deshaun Watson, I think the coach is going to get exposed a little bit, because you had OBJ there and all this stuff, and you just didn't make it work. That's on the coach, not on Baker. Yeah. Right. I think one thing about Baker, what he proved to me this year, Baker's a good QB. He's a warrior. He's somebody you want to go to battle with, because the dude played the whole year almost with a freaking half an arm, and he's tough. So I'm not saying that he's going to go out there and beat Aaron Rodgers, but he still has a place in his league. So I like Seattle. I like Carolina. Nowhere he's going to be a backup. I mean, is he going to go? I don't think, if he does, it'll be a short term. Look at like Mitch Trubisky, short term. I think he may be a starter next year. And look at Marcus Mariota, short term. He may be a starter next year because he went somewhere where they wanted him. Atlanta, right? Probably gonna start him, at least try it out. So I think Baker will land somewhere. But he needs to go somewhere where they can work the offense around him. And it's not pass. It's run, pass, run, play action. And then, he should be able to put in work. I mean, Baker can give you 30 touchdowns a year if you really give him the opportunity.
Which is why he should stay where he is. Because Deshaun Watson is going to be suspended by the NFL. He's going to miss games. There's no way he's just going to walk into the locker room like, yeah, I'm here from day one. How many games he's going to miss, I don't know. But I don't know what Cleveland is as far as the request that they're getting. Cleveland is looking for a first round pick. Is he worth a first round pick at the moment? He's sort of damaged goods.
He's not going to be no first round pick.
He's better than Wentz, right?
He's better than Carson Wentz.
And Wentz got a second and a third?
Is he better than Carson Wentz on paper?
Who knows, man?
I mean, Carson, I would say to me, he's better slightly, I would say. But that's kind of what the range is, I would say.
So if Watson gets 5, 6, 7, or 8 games, you keep Baker. You let if Baker is a first round pick, if he's worthy, you let him ball out. hands the ball to some monsters in the dang backfield, and he can do his play action, get the ball down the field, and then when his stock is up and Deshaun Watson's suspension is over with, you trade him.
Oh, I ain't gonna hit it. It's too. I had it at 225. Crap. They need 8 more points.
Okay.
9. Well, they're probably gonna lose both bets tonight.
Yeah, but Joey, who needs a quarterback in, what would that be? That would be like in early November. You know what I mean? Like, who's gonna be like? It's not like a wide receiver like OBJ, right? It's not that where you're like at that point. I think his highest that you're gonna get it is gonna be off season, right? Because at that point, teams like the Texans, they're already gonna decide. Like, say the Texans may give up, they're probably not gonna give up a first, but even Carolina, they're already gonna be staying put on what they're gonna be doing, right? They're not gonna go after a receiver or a quarterback in early November. Right? Because they're either going to be horrible and out of the playoff picture, or whatever's got them there is going to get them there anyway. Right? I think you lose any type of leverage you have by holding him. I think it's best for Cleveland, probably.
It's definitely best for
it's best for Cleveland to get them from nothing to Watson. But as far as leverage of you hoping that you got a pick, at that point, I don't necessarily know if a team's going to make a deal unless somebody goes down, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if somebody goes and gets hurt, then all of a sudden you like get week 6, somebody goes down and they know Deshaun Watson is coming back in week 8. You know, then somebody might make a roll the dice for it. But like a team like Seattle, they're probably going to just say, screw it. You know, we're just going to roll with Locke at that point, right? We are what we are. We're 3-4. We're not going to now, you know, go out and get Baker. I would say, to me, their leverage is hurt if you don't make a deal in the offseason.
Right.
But at that point, you might as well just roll with him as your backup because you're not going to get a first or second unless something crazy happens.
Does anybody want Baker Mayfield?
Probably not.
No.
I think it's just the asking price is probably going to be. It's probably really depends on the asking price. If they're asking for a second, a team like Carolina might.
Right.
You know, I would say, or even Pittsburgh. We saw Pittsburgh make the playoffs last year, so they're clearly right there.
Be a nice quarterback competition there. Be a very nice quarterback competition. So, well, that's our take on Baker Mayfield, former first-round pick.
You loved on that dude coming out, Joey.
Yes, I did. I still do like him. I still do. He's got swag. I really like that.
Who would you want? Dimes or Baker?
I'm probably leaning more towards Baker.
Oh,
I probably am. However, I think Dimes is more like what they did in Buffalo. He's a big, strong guy who's athletic, who can make plays. So I'm interested to see what Dimes does.
Danny Dimes.
I am intrigued to see.
You know what I'm intrigued is to see what kind of absurd over-under bet you'll make with Danny Dimes.
That's funny.
I already put 50 cents on the G-Man to win the Super Bowl. I'm gonna win $50.
You better put more than that.
I'm gonna win $50.
Oh, that's funny. All right, Joey. All right, give us your hot take, man, so we can all go to bed.
Oh, this is a big one right here. This is hot right here.
Get ready.
We are going international in a few spots here. Billion. So get your pen and paper ready. We are going international in a few spots.
Try to follow along here. He's going my route.
Matter of fact, Eastern Standard Time, the first part of this 7-leg parlay is going to start at 4 a.m.
Joey likes to wake up and have a bet already going.
Tomorrow morning.
There's nothing better than that.
Because we're going to be watching cricket tomorrow morning. And it's going to be, I will be taking South Africa to defeat Bangladesh in cricket.
Ooh, cricket. We got cricket.
Minus 155. I will take
South Africa money line versus Bangladesh. All right.
Then we will go to the men's EuroLeague basketball. We're going international. Again, I will be taking money line. Real Madrid, not the soccer.
The soccer
club.
team.
The soccer
basketball,
club.
right? EuroLeague.
Correct. CR7 will not be playing.
CR7 walking through that door.
The Don will not be coaching this game. Roberto Carlos will not be there either.
Oh.
Okay, we're gonna stay in the men's EuroLeague because I will be taking the French team, Lyon, plus 10. I will be taking the plus 10.
JB is like,
Doc, this is basketball, right?
This is basketball.
And what's the team name?
Lyon.
I think it's Lyon. Maybe?
It's Lyon, right?
Yeah.
Lyon.
I think it's Lyon, maybe.
Who they playing against?
Lyon. It's French. Chris is right. Lyon. They will be playing a Jewish team. Tel Aviv. It's not a Jewish team. Israeli. Sorry.
Tel Aviv, right?
It's Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv, yes.
So it's supposed to be EuroLeague. Okay, all right, good, all right. This dude right here. Go ahead.
We will stay international because we will go to a game of darts, JB. We will be going darts.
I've bet on darts. Also, trust me.
I will be taking with the money line Michael Van Gerwen. Michael Van Gerwen.
Did you say darts, man?
We are going darts, JB.
Oh God,
darts, Chris.
We become the laughing stock of all.
But no, we haven't because I am bringing it home back.
I can't. We become the darts. What's his name? Michael who?
Michael Van Gerwen. Gerwen.
Van Gerwen. I got you. Money line. Okay.
We will be coming back. We'll be coming back stateside.
Stateside.
Because I will be taking the Philly-Detroit game. I like Detroit plus 10.5. Then I will be taking in the Milwaukee-Brooklyn game. That's a huge game. I will be taking Brooklyn on the money line. And lastly, I will be going to Argentinian basketball, JB.
This dude right here.
We're going to come to the other side of the world.
What is this, like a plus 10,000?
I will be taking the money line Club Atletico Peñarol. This gives me a overall plus 2,320.
What's the last team? How you spell it?
Club Atletico, Penarol. Oh, we
Benarol.
We are going
AROL.
We're just taking a trip around the world, watching all kinds of sports.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'm with you, Joey.
We're going to get.
So I'm gonna let you know that darts pick. That's a good pick because Pinnacle has him at minus 327. And what'd you say you get it at?
Minus 310.
Oh, look at you. You're getting. Hey, if you beat Pinnacle odds, you're doing something, Joey. So
there we go.
I'm with it.
When we win, it's going.
That's Joey. That might be your thing. Who's that one basketball like Fran Fischella? Doesn't he like knows all the
Right,
international?
knows all the international cats. Yes,
That's gonna be you.
he knows all the
That's gonna be your thing now. Like you're gonna be all about all about the international.
absolutely. Let's get paid international.
What was your Argentinian one?
That would be that is Hispano Americano versus Club Atletico Peñarol.
And what did you take?
I took the money line minus 260.
They got it at about 250. So not as great lines there, Joey.
Okay.
But hey, you're still 260. You should get a shot there.
I may have missed that one.
No, that's still not, I mean, you still got like you're just not getting as much value in your bet, but it's
Must be on FanDuel, isn't it?
I'm all over it, JB.
Because I can see that doesn't even have anything on cricket.
All over FanDuel. This is going to hit. I am ahead again. I just wanted to let you all know I am ahead. I hit a big parlay last night, Chris. I won $12.
Uh-oh. Now you're the international man. Now we'll see if you can take it international. What you're gonna wake up and already have like a game.
We're gonna already be stacking, absolutely. And I would be stacking more if Jalen Brunson could get 6 assists. I'd be stacking even more. I had a second parlay plus 15-26. It should have hit.
Should have hit. That's what happens, man. I lost a parlay tonight on the same game parlay by 1 rebound.
Oh my gosh.
He had it was 9.5. He had 9.
How dare!
And I lost the same game, a better parlay, my 6-leg parlay when the Portland Trailblazers couldn't make a shot at the end of the game. So the final score ended up being total 224 instead of 226. Oh my. Anyway.
What's your
that's what gambling is about.
What's your cricket game?
My cricket game is
South Africa
versus Bangladesh.
South Africa versus Bangladesh.
What time is that on?
That is on at
4 a.m. He said.
4 a.m.
Man, you're gonna be wake up and start stacking.
You're either gonna be waking up stacking or waking up smacking.
Absolutely.
Because your whole parlay gonna be gone with the first one.
He just wakes right up and just gets to stack.
Wake up. Just start stacking.
All
right. There you go. I will be, if I can, I gotta go to FanDuel and find this stuff, and I'll post it to our Twitter account to see if it actually hits.
You'll get rich.
Yeah. All right.
If anyone wants action at 4 in the morning.
Yep. Cricket. South Africa versus Bangladesh.
Who else does that?
If you want to wake up and stack.
Who else gives action at 4 a.m. besides CJ Square?
If you want to wake up and start stacking early.
Goodness.
Yo, where did you even find this crap, man? Let me see if I find cricket on here.
Like I told you, that's where the weak lines are.
Okay, here it is. We got South Africa versus Bangladesh, and we taking the money line, right?
Yes, we are.
Because we're not doing a tie.
Yeah, yes,
All
yes.
right.
Money line, sorry.
All right, then we're going to basketball, Euro League. We're going to Euro League basketball. Hold on, can I find Euro League basketball?
Investigative betting.
All right, here we go. Leagues. All right, go to leagues, Euro League. We got Real Madrid versus Athens team, and you went money line, and then you took
Lyon
plus 10 versus it's a team from Israel. All right. That's a team called Amani Exchange Olympic. That's what their name is, Amani Exchange.
Oh.
That must be that definitely must be their sponsor. All right. And then, okay, all right, hold on. I gotta find all sports. I gotta go to darts. Michael Van Gerwen on the money line. All right. Then I gotta go to NBA tomorrow night. The NBA tomorrow night, I'm taking the Pistons plus 10.5, the Nets on the money line at home. And for my last pick, I'm going back to my leagues. This is a world tour. And there's only one game going on tomorrow. You got Hispano Americano versus Club at Atletico Peñarol. So, and that is money line, right?
Madrid.
Oh Lord, money line. All right. So I actually got to deposit. I'll deposit $1 and make a bet on it.
Michael Van Gerwen.
Michael Van Gerwen. That's my guy.
He's all.
That's my guy.
Hey,
That's my guy.
that's the man. Right
He's
there.
gonna be. Hey, I've bet on darts and actually won on it. It's actually, I've done pretty well at it.
Oh, there you go, Chris.
So,
Get back on that thing.
well, I just look at lines. If Pinnacle has it, hey, you get the
That's the
darts
thing.
are huge in England, and
Yes,
like
they are.
so. Joey's gonna have a sweat from wake up time till 10 at night.
Wake up time to game time. Yeah, sweating it all out.
Well, we'll see if he can actually,
All right.
get a sweat going.
I made my bet, man. I actually placed the bet, people. I placed it. So we'll see.
What is the dollar? What's the dollar win on that?
No, I put it. I bet $5 and it wins $118. So we'll see.
Right,
We'll wake up and see how.
Yeah, I wake up and check the cricket scores, and South Africa lost. Then I'll be making a phone call.
I'll be up.
I know. I'll be making a phone call at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Like, dude, our world tour just got started.
Either way, good or bad, I'm making that phone call. All right. Hey, everybody, that's our show for this evening. Enjoy the Final Four this weekend.
Enjoy.
It's gonna be awesome. We may stream a little bit of the championship game. Come on live on. I know we all gonna be watching on Monday night. We may come on, give you a little bit of CJ Square action, take on the game. And just be safe out there. You tell your jokes, and you're getting a good laugh. Protect your neck. You don't want to get your ass slapped. All right?
Right.
So be careful out there, man. It's CJ Squared, and we out. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
Peace.
You laughing.
Joey's world tour.
I'm on a world tour with Muhammad, my man.